Have you ever thought it possible that you could raise capital for a business without collateral? In this video, in many other videos that are on this channel, I get to talk about it, I get to share on how you can raise capital even without collateral. So in this video, I'm going to talk about partnerships and collaboration. Partnerships and collaboration. So these are some of the ways collaboration. Right, so these are some of the ways in which you can raise capital. So before maybe you skip this video, just listen to me, then maybe you can dismiss later after having listened to this video. So stick to the end and then you will see the point where I'm getting to. So I know a lot of people think partnerships are a bad way of doing business because, of course, a lot of businesses have failed. But let me tell you this, that it is because those partnerships have been done wrongly. Yes, it does not matter who are those parties that entered into a partnership that has failed. Because once it's on wrong foundation, once it's done wrongly, then it's not going to be sustainable. But partnerships are a way in which businesses are getting what they want. Like the thing that you must know is there's always someone out there with what you are looking for. They have what you're looking for, yet they are also looking for what you have. So in other words, there's always someone out there who is what exactly you're looking for, and they are also, either actively or inactively, they are also searching for someone with what you have. So now, when you have an idea, then you must know that there's someone out there who has the money to finance an idea, and they don't have an idea that they can fund, and they're looking for an idea that is brilliant. And okay, this is something that I must say. That an idea either finds a champion or it dies. What do I mean? You may think you have an idea and you think it's valuable, it's going to make you a lot of money, but as long as that idea is not championed, as long as it is not started, then it's going to die. Or whilst you're still holding on to that idea, whilst you're still saying I have the best idea for a business, someone may get to discover the same opportunity that you thought you are the only one who identified that opportunity, and they come quickly and then they execute. So don't really look at partnerships in a bad way, in as much as, yes, a lot of them have failed, but there are some that are very successful. Like, for example, there's Jumia and Konga in e-commerce here in Africa, and then there's MTN and Huawei. They are doing very well, and then there's Google and Samsung when it comes to the Android platform, and then there is Nike and Apple when it comes to wearables. And then, okay, you may be thinking, okay, I'm naming big entities, I'm naming big companies already, companies that were already big, probably that have low representatives and so forth and so forth. But look at many of these non-governmental organizations, which are also known as NGOs. How many of them are into partnerships? How many of them are into collaborations? Are they all big? So this is something that I'm bringing home to say, okay, it does not matter the size. It's got nothing to do generally with the size, but it's on how it is executed. As long as it is done in a good way. Most of these NGOs have started small and they've grown to be bigger because, in fact, they've grown to be bigger because of collaborations, because of partnerships. So it's a matter of how you enter into that partnership. As long as you get it right, and then you will be successful. So for that reason, that there is someone who has the money and you have an idea, or you may be already in a business that's already running, but it also needs scaling. So as long as you don't consider partnerships, as long as you don't consider collaborations, then you're going to find it difficult for you to be big. It's difficult for you to grow, because sometimes you just need someone with a lot of money that they can pour into your business. And as long as you've structured that partnership well, then it will be successful. You are going to benefit much more than when you're going solo, when you're going as an individual. So this is something that I need you to have a shift of mind, shift of perspective about partnerships, that you should consider getting into partnerships. And I can give you an example of some partnerships that have worked before. I remember this other friend of mine, they are into electricals. So now, but the products that they deal with, they are expensive products. So what they did was, they didn't have the capital to buy those equipment, electrical equipment, and at the same time, the skill of installing those electrical equipment. Then they also had a market. They knew who wanted those electrical equipment fixed in their premises. So, but it was now a situation whereby the clients, the customers who needed those equipment to be fixed into their premises, they could not trust this guy, because they knew he didn't have the capacity to supply, so they couldn't trust him with their money. At the same time, this guy could not get money from anywhere else for him to be able to supply those equipment, that equipment that would be needed by the customers. But then he was not stuck in that. He decided to enter into a partnership. What he did was, he approached, like you can enter into partnerships with banks. So you need to see this. You can enter into partnerships with banks, and you can enter into partnerships with suppliers. So what this guy did was, he traveled to South Africa, met with producers of this equipment, and then he showed them of the market in the country where he was coming from. He showed them that there's a potential market there. He didn't name the customer. He didn't name the customer, so that at least he would protect his idea, he would protect his business. So he then showed to that client that he would be able to get customers for this for this producer of that equipment. And then when the producer saw this potential, they were happy, but now they couldn't trust him with the equipment as well. But then what he then did was, he then went to his clients. He told them that he had a deal with, actually, he had a memorandum of understanding with the supplier of that equipment. And then he went to those businesses, and then he told them that he was coming from so and so as the supplier of this equipment. And now you could fix, they could supply that, and they could fix. Because these clients that were known to my friend, they are clients who already knew about that supplier, but they didn't know how they could import that equipment, and they also didn't know how to fix the equipment. So when he mentioned, the moment that he mentioned that he has a memorandum of understanding with the supplier of that particular equipment, then they trusted him somehow, because trust generally in business is perceptual. So it all depends on how someone sees you. They can not trust you for doing nothing. Someone can just not trust you for doing nothing. It's so perceptual. So now, the moment that they heard about that name, they trusted him, and then he asked for them to make some deposit as payment for them to receive this equipment. And that's how they get trust, and then they put some money into his account. And he was an honest guy, and then he went to South Africa, and then he paid for that equipment, and he managed to ship into the country where he would operate, where he would do his business. And it is because of such partnerships, such memorandum of understandings, that gets you into partnerships. And the way you structure a partnership, the way you structure even the collaboration, it can get you far. And then that's how we started this business, and it is now well established to such an extent that his clients can trust him enough with giving him the full payment for any equipment that he wants, that they want installed. and he is also reliable and trustworthy to be able to deliver. And even the supplier of the equipment, whenever he wants to get something for like on credit, just because of his track record, they can trust him with the equipment. So he started that small, and you grow. That's one thing that you need to understand. Do not despise partnerships. They really can get you far. So speaking of partnerships, it is exactly where we are getting into. This is how business is done nowadays. And that's why you hear of companies outsourcing. And that's why you hear of companies actually hiring someone from outside, maybe say a consultant, to come and solve a certain problem for them. It is because of such partnerships, and you cannot go all the way alone. You need to start thinking positively about partnerships, and you need to start thinking about how you can structure them well in order for them to work out well for you. So I just hope you're going to look at partnerships as something that can help you to raise the capital that you are looking for.